Hey guys, we're back. This time we're going to be taking a look at Red Dragon Inn 7, the Tavern Crew. Took me a while to get my hands on this one. I've had all the rest of them for a while. I just kind of skipped over this one. And this one contains the members of the crew who actually work at the Red Dragon Inn. We have Warthorn Redbeard, the owner of the bar. We have Molly the Stablehand, Jasper the Bouncer, and the Wench herself. And we'll get in and take a look at them. So the first thing we have here is the rule book. It's the same rule book as always. Explains how to play the game, all the various steps and phases, and then in the back there's a section specific to, I haven't gotten to it yet, there we go, there's a section specific to the new characters to explain to you how each of them works. And then there's a section for the prize variant, because this does come with some prize cards. And then some card specific like FAQs here in the back. Pretty standard stuff. This is the 7th incarnation of this, so they've got that kind of down to a T. Next we have our player boards, and again these are the new character art ones that have been around since Red Dragon Inn 5 came out. But they tell you where to put your various decks, including the characters who have special things, and then they have the character artwork on there as well. And it came with a pack of coasters. I'm not sure these have any function in the game. I think they are just literally coasters, but they're kind of cool. So we have our cardboard, alcohol, and fortitude markers. All the base sets come with these. And I think they're printed on the same card as the coins. So you get them anytime you get a big set. You have 4 in here of each for each of the new characters. My preference, though, are the glass beads that have come with all the sets since the very beginning. And they do the same thing as those tokens. You have the clear for alcohol and the red for fortitude. We've always stuck with these, even though they switched to the cardboard tokens over years. I still prefer the glass beads, and it's cool to see they give you both so you have an option. And next we have our coin tokens, and you get tons of these. I think there's 50 here, and these are the larger coins that come with the big box sets, not the smaller ones that the Allies expansions come with. I've since moved on to using metal coins. A lot of people have, but you still get these to add to your collection if you do still use the cardboard tokens. Then we have our deck dividers. These go in the big treasure trove box if you have it from Red Dragon Inn 5. And they have the character artwork on the front and then a little description about them on the back. We have one for each of the new 4 characters. There's one for the new drink deck that's included in this, and one for the prize variant. I was starting to wonder where the prize one was, because I never bought Red Dragon Inn 7. I never came across this. So I was kind of wondering where it was, so now we have that. Then we have our drink deck. This is a full, I think they're 30 card drink deck. Don't know if there's anything new in this one, or if they are just reprints of old stuff. I didn't look that much into it, to be honest. We keep our decks separate here, though, and usually grab a whole deck at a time, maybe mix in a couple promo cards. So anybody interested out there will be able to tell what's new and what's not. A lot of these are common drinks I know I've seen before. Water. pretty sure I've seen all of these before, so it may just be a remixing and matching of what comes in the set. Because they all look familiar. That one might be new. Don't recognize that one off the top of my head. But yeah, new drink deck. Change things up in your games. Onto our character decks here. The first one we have is Warthorn Redbeard, the dwarf businessman. He's the owner and proprietor of the Red Dragon Inn. And as with all characters, about half the deck or so is your standard package of gambling cards, messing with drinks, that kind of thing. Then we get on to the cool stuff, and as a dwarf, Warthorn can kind of ignore a lot of alcohol. Things that would boost your alcohol up get reduced. He also has these cards with the pipe down here. And whenever you play those, you're going to draw a special card from his stories deck. Then a lot of his other cards are fortitude loss because he does like to get drunk and brawl with people. You can see there's a whole slew of fortitude loss cards right there. But yeah, that's mainly his thing, reducing other people's fortitude while reducing his alcohol. And then we have Warthorn's stories, and these are all him reminiscing about times. Did I ever tell you about the time my patrons defeated Mordegar the Mad Dragon? And things like that. They're all stories of the history of the realm and what's gone on. And each one of them has different effects down here at the bottom. Some boost him up, some are detrimental to other players. My favorite, there's one where he's overly animated telling a story, and he not only does he lose fortitude, but so does somebody else who's standing next to him. So, kind of a cool, fun mechanic. I like the way that one works. Next we have Jasper the Bouncer. He's a human mage. And when you think of a bouncer, you generally think of a huge, muscular, like barbarian type guy. But with Jasper, we get this little old man, but he's a wizard, which makes up for it. So, a lot of his cards, like I said, we got the first part there I tossed aside was the gambling and that common cards. But when you get into these, he's got a lot of things that allow him to mess with money from the inn. He either takes that or uses it as his own. He also tends to fight a lot because he can conjure and summon things basically to help him throw things out of the bar. He's not a slouch though, and can take care of himself. He's also got one really cool, unique card in here, if I can find it. He's got this really cool, unique card here, and it actually removes him and one of the other players from the bar temporarily. And while they're gone, they really can't be affected by anything. So that's kind of cool. He doesn't have a special mechanic like a lot of the other characters do now, but he does have that one card in there that's kind of neat and unique to him. Overall, though, he's still an interesting and fun character to play. Next we have Molly the Stablehand, the halfling laborer. And once again, a chunk of her cards are the standard package that everybody gets. Let's say up to there or so. Then you start getting into her more unique cards where she deals with the various mounts that the patrons of the Red Dragon Inn bring and tie up in the stables. And she has these cards with these little horseshoes down here in the corner. Whenever those are played, it's going to bring in something from the stable. And she has kind of a mix of everything she can do. Doesn't really specialize in any one area. And her stable cards are all the crazy mounts that people bring to the inn. Whenever you play one of those cards with a horseshoe, one of these is going to come out. On her player board, she has 3 slots across it, and you play them basically from left to right. As you play a new one, this one will slide down, this one will slide over, and the new one comes out. When the next one comes out, this will slide over, this will slide over, and this one will be discarded, and so on. There is an interesting variety of them. They all have great quotes down here at the bottom. And they all do various things. Also, some of them have rivals where you can't have both of them in play at the same time. Pookie's even in there. I don't know whose mount Pookie is. But yeah, it's a very interesting take on things, and I like her character. It's very unique. And the last character we have here is the Wench, the human waitress. And then again we have our normal package of gambling cards. But I love the way that they've adjusted the cards to compensate for her. In this case, I think you should stop playing the drinks instead of the Wench thinks you should stop. And tip the apprentice instead of tip the Wench. There's also some other ones in here. Yeah, instead of the Wench thought it was her tip, it's why thank you. And other interesting cards that pertain to her character. Her coolest mechanic, though, is the special reserve cards. And you get cards like this. Something special for my friends. You can hand out 2 special reserve drinks. So instead of drawing your cards from the drink pile for those special reserve, she has her own special reserve drink deck. And these are some extremely potent and powerful drinks. Almost all of them have effects. I think all of them do. And oh, I lied. That one doesn't. But these do all sorts of things. There's even a couple events in there, and these will come up and be passed around and just add more to the whole chaos of the drinking aspect, as you never know what you're going to get or what they're going to do. And then finally, the last card here is a prize. On the back you have the prize variant rules. On the front we have the absorbent towel, and it's the next time you or a teammate ignores a drink, you pick another player, shuffle that drink's cards into the player's drink me deck, and then add this card back to the prize bin. So kind of an interesting one there. I love that these are getting easier and easier to come by, and the fact that you have more of them makes them more fun to play. We didn't use them when we only had 1 or 2, but now that I have quite a stack of them, they do get some use. Anyway, that's a look at everything that comes with Red Dragon Inn 7. It's been a long time. I'm kind of behind schedule on getting this one. Now the only character for all of Red Dragon Inn that I am missing is the Roxanne in the Smorgasbox. So someday I'll get my hands on that, but overall it's a pretty good pack though. I like all 4 characters in here. They all have cool, interesting mechanics that aren't overly complicated. The 3 technically use the same type of mechanic with drawing from the extra deck. The thing that's weird is that these guys both use an icon on the bottom of the card. It tells you when it's time to draw another card. Her, the Wench doesn't have the icon on there. It's all text-based. so you have to read. They did bold the text that tells you to draw from the special reserve deck, so it is more noticeable in the cards. It's just odd they didn't like put a bottle icon or something in the corner, since the last big handful of characters that have had a similar mechanic have all used an icon in the corner of the cards. It just seemed odd, especially when 2 of the 3 in this box do it. So that's weird, but nothing detrimental. It doesn't hurt the gameplay at all. It's just an odd thing in my head. I like this pack, and I'm kind of upset I waited so long to pick it up. But anyway, that's a look at the Red Dragon Inn 7, the Tavern crew, and I hope it helps you decide if it's something you might be interested in, and these are characters you might want to add to your collection. As always, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.